Alright. Should be live. Everything should be going well. I think. Hello, and welcome back to the Saga of the Volsungs. Hopefully this will be the last part of the Saga of the Volsungs, as I would like to finish this book today. We are near the end with about 20 pages to go? So let's get started. Chapter 32, The Betrayal of Sigurd. After this, Brynhild went out and sat under her chamber wall. She lamented grievously, declaring everything, both land and power, hateful to her, since she did not have Sigurd. And Gunnar came to her again. Then Brynhild said, "You shall lose both power and wealth, life and me, and I shall journey home to my kin and remain there in sorrow, unless you kill Sigurd and his son. Do not raise the wolf cub." Gunnar now became very distressed. He thought he did not know the best course to pursue, for he was bound by oath to Sigurd, and various thoughts shifted in his mind, but he thought the worst dishonor would be if his wife left him. Gunnar said, "Brynhild is more precious to me than anything else, and she is the most renowned of all women. I would forfeit my life rather than lose her love." And he called his brother Hogni to him and said, "I'm confronted with a difficult choice." He said that he wanted to kill Sigurd, that Sigurd had betrayed his trust. "We will have to go control the gold, and then have all the power," Hogni said. "It is not fitting for us to violate our oaths by breaching the peace. And we have had much support from him. No kings are our equals as long as his king of Hunland lives. And we will never get such a brother-in-law again. Consider how valuable it would be for us to have such a brother-in-law and nephews too. But I see how this problem arose. Brynhild is stirred up, and her advice will lead us to disgrace and destruction." Gunnar answered, "We will make this event come about, and I see the means. Let us urge our brother Gortorm to act. He is young, knows little, and is not bound by any oath." Hogni said, "That seems poor advice to me, and even if the deed is done, we will pay for betraying such a man." Gunnar said Sigurd must die, or else I will die. He bid Brynhild rise and be cheerful. She stood up and said, however, that Gunnar would not enter into the same bed with her until this came about. Now the two brothers talked together. Gunnar said that it is a valid felony punishable by death for having taken Brynhild's maidenhead, and let us urge Gortorm onto this deed. They called him to them and offered him gold and great power to perform the act. They took a snake and the flesh of a wolf and cooked them and gave them to him to eat, as the Skald says. Took some woodfish, some sliced a wolf's carrion. Some gave to Guttorm the wolf's flesh, mixed with ale. They used these and many other kinds of witchcraft, and with this nourishment and Grimhild's persuasions and everything else, Guttorm became so violent and fierce that he promised to do the deed. They promised him great honor in return. Sigurd did not expect such deceit. He could also not prevail against either his fate or his death. Sigurd also did not perceive that he was deserving of a betrayal from them. Guttorm went to Sigurd's room the next morning, while he was resting in his bed. But when he looked at him, Guttorm did not dare attack, and turned back to leave the room. And so it happened a second time. Sigurd's eyes flashed so sharply that few dared meet their gaze. But the third time he went in, Sigurd was asleep. Guttorm drew his sword and struck Sigurd so that the blade struck him into the bed beneath him. Sigurd woke up from the wound as Guttorm was leaving by the door. Sigurd then took the sword Gram and cast it after Guttorm. It struck him in the back and cut him in two at the waist. His lower body fell one way, and his head and arms fell back into the room. Guttorm was asleep in Sigurd's arms, but she awoke to unspeakable grief, drenched in his blood. She wailed so with tears and lamentations that Sigurd rose up on the pillow and spoke. "Do not weep," he said. "Your brothers live on to grant your pleasure. But I have a son too young to keep a watch out for his enemies, and have provided poorly for themselves. They will not again find such a brother-in-law to ride with them in the army, or such a nephew, if he is allowed to grow up. And now it has come to pass as long been foretold. I refuse to believe it, but no one can withstand his fate. Brynhild, who loved me more than she did any other man, caused this betrayal. I will swear this, that I never did disservice to Gunnar, I respected our oaths, and was never overly friendly with his wife. If I had known earlier what was going to happen, and had risen to my feet, bearing my weapons, many would have lost their lives before I had fallen. All the brothers would have been slain. It would have been more difficult for them to kill me than the fiercest wild bison or boar. The king now died. Gudrun let out a tormented moan. Brynhild heard it and laughed when she heard Gudrun sobbing. Then Gunnar said, "You do not look happy in the depths of... Or why has your color left you? You are a vile monster, and most likely you are fated to die. No one would be more deserving than you to see King Alfle killed before your eyes and be forced to watch while it happened. We must now sit over our brother-in-law, the killer of our brother." Trying again. Yeah, no, maybe, no. Yes. Okay. We're back. I think. Nope. We're not back. Come on, stay recording. Stay good. No, don't do that.